What is up? What it do? What it be, people? You are now listening to Stark Talks, a podcast where everything from what an engineering student does to what engineers do in the industry is answered. I'll be completely honest. We have absolutely nothing planned for or prepped for this episode. So we kind of decided to talk about the latest trends and to dedicate this entire episode for tech trends. With that, Shashwat, take it away.
Yeah, so our lovely tech trends are back. So it's the first thing we're doing today. So all the tech trends is going to be like what happened within the past month and what are we going to talk about. So the first tech trend is like the S21 series. So guys, Samsung brought their new flagship phones out today. Not today, past like last 2 weeks. So they have their new fleet in a sense. They had S21 Ultra, S21 plus 5G, and the S21. So I just want to highlight some features about those phones. So S21 Ultra is like their mega flagship phone now. So kind of like they had the Note before, now they have like the S21 Ultra, like they had it with S20 Ultra. So I think they're going that route in the sense that they want the S21 series to be a little bit more flagship than the Note series.
Hmm.
So with the S21 Ultra, they have like all the flagship, like the best phone features. Like it's a 6.8-inch phone. It has like the 120 hertz display, which Apple doesn't, iPhone doesn't have it. It comes with Gorilla Glass, IP68 rating, really nice cameras, and just a lot of features that are really good, right? So I just wanted your guys' opinion. Uh, like with these features, like it comes with a price tag. So it is an expensive phone. Like it's costing upwards of like $1,600 depending on where you start at, right? So it's not a cheap phone. Uh, but would you guys ever consider buying this phone, or is it just another thing that it's a flagship? Let's see where the market goes with it. So, in your opinion?
Damn. Is it wait, that's a lot of features on it. I'm just on the website of Samsung right
Yeah,
now. I'm just going through it. Multiple
yeah, yeah, yeah,
cameras with a lot of features and stuff, right?
yeah. Yeah.
But I don't see the difference from like the older versions. Like for me, the biggest thing about
Yeah.
a phone is I'm not like a very like heavy user on like I'm not like very heavy on my phone. I just Instagram, YouTube, simple messaging and stuff. That's all I do on my phone. Like I don't like go heavy on like recording videos, audios and all of that, right?
Yep, yep.
So like I guess if you're someone who like does all of that, will be using the phone to its fullest extent, yeah, the S21 Ultra would be the best, but then that price tag is hefty, boss.
What is the price tag?
It starts at $1,649 Canadian,
Okay. Okay, and
right?
goes up to?
It can go up like depending on the storage and like other features that you choose, right?
Oh, so
So
there's more access, like there's more
uh,
customization options for the
yeah, so it
features?
can go up to $1,889, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the 512 GB, like the most spec'd out version of it, right?
And this is the Ultra, right?
This is the Ultra, so this is the like most expensive flagship phone, other than like they have like the Galaxy Fold still, but I think that's just new technology, that's why it's more expensive. But this is like their best phone in their lineup.
Mhm. And are they still running the Note series? Is that
Uh,
still
yeah,
running or no?
That's still a thing, but I feel like with the Ultra, they're just trying to send that message in a sense that they want that phone to be like their headline phone, and then the Note comes after. The Note is also the headline, but it's kind of like a sub headline now because they released this at the start of the year, and the Note comes out like a little bit later in the year, right? So they started the year, they started off with like this Ultra, like the whole S21 series, right? So I feel like they're trying to make that message saying like, oh, Ultra is their phone.
Is in terms of screen size, Asher, would you
Yeah,
say like specs screen size wise, is the Ultra and the Note the same or like at least nearby?
it's pretty close. I guess it's 6.8-inch screen. I think the Note 2020 had like 6.9 and 6 point like around 7-inch display. So like it's pretty much the same size, but the Ultra also added like S Pen functionality, right? It doesn't have an integrated
Oh,
S, but
okay.
you can use an S Pen on it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's also another hinting factor that they're saying that, oh, you can use S Pen on the Ultra now. So why don't you just go with Ultra, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a functionality thing that they have done. Like not
Yeah,
too.
I agree with like initially you said like how
Mhm.
Samsung is trying to make the S series or the S lineup to be the main like the flagship phone or like what Samsung phone should be known for, right? In essence. So yeah, because like as a previous Samsung S4 and like all a Note user as well, right? I understand what you're saying because like the S series has always been able to satisfy the common customers' needs, right? Like above and beyond. And with their like recent changes to like recent additions, I guess, with their Ultra, with their Mac, and all the different names, right, for bigger phone sizes in the same S series. I feel like what you were saying. I completely agree with what you were saying in regards to the Note potentially being taken out of line, right, in the coming years, and just focusing fully on like the S lineup, right? Because they have the big one, they have the normal sized one, and yeah, I feel like it suits each customer needs. But and I think Mevin mentioned about the hefty price tag, like around the $1,800 and stuff, right? But we also had the similar discussion in a previous podcast when we talked about like Apple Watches and how the market for phones, especially with like companies like OnePlus that used to be there, like that started a few years ago with the intention of being the cheaper phone with for the same specs, but now coming into the price ranges of iPhones and Samsungs, right? I feel like the market is changing in a way with technology, whether it be useful technology or useless technology that comes with it, right? Like the market is changing in a way that people are also now being less hesitant with the factor of pulling out $1,800 or $2,000 for a phone, right? Where most people might be in the same shoes as Mebin, who are just users of like probably calling or texting from time to time and nothing more than that, right?
Hey, yo, hold up, wait a minute. This phone is 6.8 inches.
It's a tablet. It's a tablet, bro. It's a
Do you have a
tablet.
It's
pocket? Do you have a pocket that's that deep?
But yo, Mebin, like nowadays, like all phones are coming up on this size. Like the Pro Max is around 6.7, 6.8, right? That's why like iPhone went the mini side to see if there's still a market for like the small phones,
There is.
right?
There is.
There is, they were
Yeah.
able to sell a lot. But for me personally, like my perfect range would be like the S21 size. So I have the S10 currently, so that's around like the 6.1, 6.2 inch size,
Hmm.
and that's
Hmm.
the perfect size for me. Like I have seen bigger phones, right? They're a little bit too big for me. Like a 6.8, 6.7 is just like I have small hands. Like I don't have that big hands, right? It's just too big. Like it's like Philip said, like it's like a tablet at this point,
Yeah.
right? So the 6.2 inch, 6.3 inch mark is I think perfect, right? But it's just my opinion. But like yeah, the phones are getting
No,
huge.
I'm
I
with that. I'm with that. Like the
no,
phone I have. Go ahead, Flip.
I no, I was gonna say like I think we can see like Mevin raised the concern or like the topic of like the phone sizes. I think among us three itself, we can see like I'm also an iPhone user who has a 6.1 inch screen size, right? But coming from an iPhone, which was like the the 7 Plus or the 8 Plus that had the bezel on top, right? Those screen ratio wise, my current phone is bigger, but with the bezel, it was like longer, right? So I prefer like after using this iPhone for like a year or like year and a half, right? I prefer a bigger phone. So if I had the finances, right, as a student, I would go and buy like the Pro
Uh,
Max or the Max or whatever
How
like the
big is
whatever
that?
size.
6.7.
I I no, it's the same size I believe as a Samsung
Yeah,
one. I can check into that right now.
yeah,
Give me a sec.
similar sizing.
But yeah, continue,
The
Robin.
phone I have, which is the LG G6, is a 5.7 inch screen,
Yeah,
right?
Hmm.
And I guess I could go a little bigger, but I feel like a 6.8, 6.7 is
yeah,
huge.
it's huge.
Like I don't have jeans or pants that's gonna fit that.
Yeah,
See, when it becomes bigger, it also comes with the. Okay, so 1 second before I go into that, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, right, is six point
Yep,
seven
6 point.
inches, and the 12 Pro is 6.1 inches. So
Uh-huh.
like the 12 Pro is the size of mine,
Mhm.
right? But the Pro Max, which is the biggest they have in their lineup, is 6.7 inches. No, so I was gonna say, like, bigger the phone, the more specs comes with it, right? Like, I don't like I'm like fascinated by Samsung's specifications for their phones, like 6 to 12 gigs RAM,
Yeah,
right? That's like double that's more than that's more RAM than that than I have on my MacBook, right? And then like the screen size, the speed, like the processing power, the storage of going up to like even terabytes, right, on a
yeah, yeah.
phone. I feel like people in most cases that actually have the use, that actually use it to the full potential, are willing to go to that, probably even like the 7 inch mark, because every year, like every few years, we see the trend of phones becoming bigger by a couple inches, right?
Yep, yep, yep.
But then
So I feel like people.
where does a phone become a tablet? In that case, we're stepping into like the fold industry, right? Where you would have
Mhm.
to fold, like unfold the phone for it to get to its maximum size.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe every car, like as we see like brands looking into like what other brands are doing, copying at times, right? And like adapting to the market, right? Maybe we might even see folding iPhones in due time, I feel. Because like as you said, can you fit a 7 inch phone into your pockets, right? Which is
mm,
a reasonable thing. We're not trying to walk around with external additions to our pants, right? So, so it might come to an era where the phones might be foldable for the sake of fitting it into pockets in like your purse, whatever it may be, right? And to use it, you might have to just unfold it into a full-on tablet
Like I don't
size.
I'm not with the whole Samsung Fold. I don't like that flex, man.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Philip talked about it on one of our previous podcasts where we talked about how like foldable phones are like an old thing, and I don't think going back to it would be a flex. Like it looks cool, yeah. And it sounds cool when you like slap it and fold it, like the coolest kid in school when you had it back in the day, but like I don't know about it anymore.
No, I was gonna say like like I don't like how Mebin said he doesn't know about it anymore, right? Truth is, we at the end of the day, like I was skeptical about the 12 minis that they were making, right? Going back to that 4 or 5 inch screen size, right?
Mhm.
Which was
Mhm.
like so 10 years ago, right? But seeing that it actually makes sales, and seeing that there could be the potential of another 13 mini or the 12S mini coming out this year,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Like it fascinates me because the market is crazy and it is the most unexpected thing in every sense.
Yeah, like either like they're going a little bit bigger, so they're trying to find like that polar opposite, right, to suit every market. So like a really big phone, a foldable phone, and a really small phone, right? So they're trying to hit both sides of the market.
But then where do we no, but my question is before we continue, where do we draw the line? Like where is this going to? Is my question.
I, I don't think we ever draw lines as humans, because if we started drawing lines, half of the things we have done to this day would not be possible. Think about it. Because one thing about humans is that we don't limit ourselves, right? There's some people trying to get to Mars, some people trying to get to different galaxies,
Shout out my boy
some
Elon.
people some people trying to get into 7 inch phones, I guess, right? Some people trying to make rely completely on their watches to do the job of a phone, right? Communicate. Some people trying to fit chips into their brain to communicate and listen to music. So like I don't think there ever is a line for humans. And the factor that there is no line being drawn has acted as a positive and negative negative thing for our community, I believe, like for our society.
Everything has its like pluses and minuses, but I believe like if you keep making these phones bigger at this point, I'm just gonna have to get a monitor plugged into my phone and just
But
use that as a laptop at that
but
point.
Mevin, think about it. They are making phones for people in your in your category, like in the sense that since you don't want bigger phones, right? You're comfortable with smaller phones, right? That fulfill the purpose of a phone, right? A basic phone. They are making phones like the iPhone 12 mini, right? So they are feeding all customer bases, right? They're not just uh reluctant, or like they're not just what's the right word for it? They're not set in stone that we're going to make the next 7-inch phone and that's the only phone
Yeah,
option you get,
I see.
right?
I
options.
They're
see.
they're serving the wide range. Yeah, they're giving you options.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
So that's where people don't see the need to draw a line then. Because if you're a person who is interested in a smaller phone, that is available. They're catering that need, right?
yeah, like every need in a sense. Like you can find like really small phones out there too. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that kind of just I guess that yeah, that makes sense because at the end of the day, you're being like every aspect is being like what identified or addressed, right?
Mm,
If you, again, as you said, if you like smartphones, there are capabilities. If you like foldable phones, there's that. If you like bigger phones, there's that. More specs, more performance on your phone, there's that. If you want gold crusted phones, there's that too nowadays.
yeah, this is
So yeah, I guess it's very diverse.
yeah, like all of it is not positive. So like with the S21, right? You're not getting a charger brick now. So we've seen that before. We talked about this before, right?
Ooh.
Hold up,
Apple.
wait, what?
So I'm pretty sure we talked about this in like episode 3, episode 4, when like the rumors came out about Apple not having charger bricks in their phone, with their phone, right? So Samsung has done the same thing. Other manufacturers are doing the same thing. Like Huawei, Xiaomi, and stuff. They're trying to do the same thing now. So what's your guys' opinions on that? Like, we were pretty vocal about it when we talked about it before, right? So now Apple's starting another trend, whether it be good, whether it be bad, and is carrying over to other sectors. So what do you guys' opinion on that?
Did it? Did it? I swear Samsung tweeted out saying
Yep,
in
yep, they
this
did.
will be. Oh, that's actually so tough.
We don't sell bricks separately or something like that. They
Yeah,
did do that tweet. I remember.
they tweeted that sometime. I don't know when, but sometime after the
Yeah, it was
Apple
right
event.
after the. It was right after that.
Oh, that's so
But
tough.
I'll tell you another angle to it. Like I read about this, right? When I heard they didn't have a brick, what Apple did, Apple put a really good angle on it, the environment aspect, saying, "Oh, with having these
Yeah.
small boxes, right? We save this
Uh-huh.
much space,
Uh-huh.
we save this much manufacturing stuff, we save this much waste, with not the bricks not being thrown into the garbage, right? So now it forces other companies to bring that aspect, right? So a lot of people out there, like, when you say the environment aspect, right? That's a huge, huge, huge aspect, in a sense that,
See,
in a
mhm.
sense that, like, if you don't follow up to it, right, you're looking the negative in the market, which no one wants to really do that, right? So
Right.
that,
See,
yeah,
that's like the thing that I'm confused
mm,
about, because I understand like the CSR and like the responsibility of billion-dollar companies, right? Trillion-dollar companies to show initiative for the environment, especially during these ages where everything is going downhill, right?
yeah, yeah,
Globally. Like, but to say that we're taking out the charging brick for the sake of the environment and to reduce the box sizes, right? And to sell these bricks at a separate cost of $50 minimum plus taxes,
Wait, Samsung
that
selling
comes
it
in
for fifty
boxes.
dollars?
No, no, I'm talking about Apple. I can't talk on behalf of Samsung because I have no clue,
yeah,
right? But then to go on and sell these bricks, right, at $50 plus, right? That ships in a box, I'm pretty sure, and that's gonna ship in an extra box, right? Like the shipping box. All of this equates to this all goes back into the environment. So I don't understand how they process this, right? These billion trillion dollar companies, like how they process the fact that just taking it out of a normal box that comes with all the parts that the phone needs to function on a daily basis, right? And then selling it separately is going to save the environment. Like, I don't understand how that connects with saving the environment. And that's something many people oversee, right? So your point, Shasha, on not following up with the latest or adapting to the market of what every other company is doing is going to hurt the image or the brand of the company,
yeah, yeah,
right? I completely agree because most people overlook that fact, right?
mm-hmm,
People just see the fact that, oh, they're saving the environment. That's nice. Apple is finally doing something, or Samsung is finally doing
yeah,
something, right? They're not thinking about the fact that they have to now spend another 50, right? and then it's gonna come in a box and blah blah blah, all that stuff.
No.
So
Because normal, I believe Apple addressed this too in their event. They said that a lot of people already have a power bricks at home, right?
now, sir, if you do not
Yeah.
know,
No.
the recent
USB. Listen,
phones. Listen, 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 listen.
USB to USB C, USB to USB C, not USB
Yeah,
C to
see,
USB C.
Yes.
see, like recently, only recently after the new iPhone 12s came out, they switched over to the Lightning to USB-C. My old phones all had Lightning to USB-A, like the regular USB, right? So even if I have 50 plus bricks lying around, my old bricks, but none of them are useful, right? Because because like even the iPads now use the same wiring, right? It's lightning to USB-C, so you can't plug it into a regular brick. So again, their point on if people have it lying around in their house does not make any sense. It would make sense if they kept it USB, a lightning to USB-A.
No, wait. Can you not connect a USB A to not a USB A, like a regular USB to a USB C brick, and then charge your phone or device?
Come again, say that
So
again,
like
please.
a USB, a
Mm-hmm.
regular power adapter that takes in a
Yeah.
USB,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It converts a USB to a USB C or Thunderbolt, or
Mhm.
well, USB C. Let's say USB C. And can you not regularly charge the device like that?
But it's lightning. It's lightning port. It's on a
It's
C.
lightning. Our phones take lightning. You guys take
Oh,
C, bro.
Yeah.
y'all are
We don't
waste,
take
bro.
C.
That's why.
Like another point.
Okay. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to start beef on here right now?
Like just another point about the Samsung thing. The Samsung did C2C bricks for their last year phones. So S20 had C2C bricks. Like that was a new thing that they did last year, right? So
Mhm.
I have an S20 at home, right? So they came with that new brick. So a lot of people switching over to the S21 possibly have that. And what they have also done is scrolling to the Samsung website, I saw that they have brought down the charger brick prices. So it's 1250, right? Which is I think extremely affordable, right? Like if you're
Oh, it's
buying,
1250, eh?
yeah, it's $12.50. Right? Usually it's 25, but they have brought down to half, right? In an effort so people could afford it, right? So that's a
Hmm.
really big positive.
Yeah, it's super affordable, especially when you're spending like 1900 plus stacks on a phone,
Okay,
right?
okay.
I'm making a joke out of this, bro,
No,
because I'm
no.
not supporting Apple at all in this. This is the one time
Mhm.
I will
But like,
stand against Apple.
yo, they have a fair point. Like, literally, everyone has a
I,
not literally. I can't say literally
no,
everyone.
no. My question
Everyone
is,
has a phone.
my question is, right? Look. Everyone has a phone, whatever. My question is this: why not make the box a bit like bigger, just so it can fit it's just so it can fit that brick in there?
But everyone has the brick.
No,
Just
not
pack the
everyone has
cable.
the same brick.
Everyone has the same. It's the
Okay,
brick.
okay. Everyone has the brick, but not the cable. But why would I go back? You yourself, you both know for a fact that USB-C is faster than any other USB
Yeah.
cables,
Oh, 100
right?
percent. Yeah.
Yeah. So then why would I rely, or why would I go back to a 2018 technology at that point, or 2019 technology, when I have the ability to use a USB-C cable, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, it's less space.
Okay,
Save
at
the
the end of the
world.
day, I'll just say this. I'll say this: if Apple, or I'm going to speak on behalf of Apple, if Apple wants to create a change environmentally, they should just go into a complete USB-C to USB-C thing, because our MacBooks take USB-C to USB-C, and making all devices onto the USB-C to USB-C platform can make all users depend on just one brick, and now that's saving the environment.
I'm gonna speak in terms of like a regular consumer. I think removing the brick was a proper idea only because everyone has a brick. Like I have like four different bricks literally on the to the right
No,
side of me.
you're still not getting the point.
No,
Like from my perspective, lightning to USB-C, bro.
okay, yeah, that's an Apple problem. That's not my problem. All right, I don't have an Apple
Okay.
device.
So then you can't claim yourself to be a regular consumer.
I'm not a regular Apple consumer. There's fine print. Read the fine print, Philip. Shasha, what is your stance? We'll move over. We'll move to the next topic after that.
Yeah, I was just like this, like it's fine. Like I think every company's just doing it for like the environment aspect, right? To get the side in their company saying, oh, we are also for the environment, right? Uh, and charger bricks, like I would agree, like I like what Samsung has done, like because they had to move on to the non-charger bricks. At least they brought the same charger bricks that they had last year, right? In an effort to like at least hit some people's market, right? In the sense that if you have it at home, you have it, so you don't need to go out and buy it for even $12.50, right? I think 50 was a little bit hefty by Apple. $12.50, like if they can bring the price down, like I think it will be more people won't mind this aspect, I guess, right? So yeah, that's just my stance on
I
it.
I think I can. Yeah, I think I can respect that. I think I can respect that. Same, but Philip had a really good point about like how making it like uniform. When you have everything uniform, it's a significantly easier workflow, right? Having like multiple adapters and stuff. I know the struggle because we're all first for people. So like there's obviously that struggle, but that having it uniform just makes your workflow much more easier and much more smooth.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, completely agree with that.
Next topic, we're just gonna talk about a big thing that happened in the month of January, like starting the year. Uh, so Wall Street bets came around. So Philip, can you introduce all of that? Because I know you look more into the
Okay.
financial side of things.
Okay, so Wall Street Bets, even everyone from young to old has heard about this over the past 2 weeks. Essentially, they are a group of people. They call themselves the degenerates, right? And they're a group of people who are the essential, like who are the common people. Uh, and by the way, I just need to clarify. They call themselves degenerates because that's like their that's the group's name. Like everyone that joins, about 8 million people are part of it, right? Uh, that's why they call, and that's like the name they have for the server. Just wanted to clarify that.
I thought you called them
Uh,
degenerates. I was about to
yeah,
say.
I know because I am part of them. I'm not gonna call myself one, right? So, Wall Street Bets was a group created back in 2012, and they've been around for a long time. Just a group of normal people, the common people, right? The low class, lower class, the middle class, into it folks who have some extra money lying around and that are willing to risk it for all, right? For the meme. That's their main thing. So they're after the meme. They're not educated investors. They're not people who sit and read the graph from morning to night, right? They're just folks with their own jobs that just do this for the memes on the side. And statistically they're known for losing minimum $50,000 per month or per year. I'm not sure which it is, but it's a big amount to lose, right? For a group that were about like that grew to around 1 million users till December of 2020. And then Jan comes, a company called GameStop was set to go bankrupt after this quarter. So they decided to uh, invest everything they had, like this group, right? Invest everything they had, and they started seeing profits because what essentially happened is hedge funds uh, went in and shorted it, right? Because shorting basically is that you make money when the stock drops, right? And GameStop was a big company back in the days with the new consoles, with the new devices, PC users, and everything coming out, and relying on the online gaming platforms rather than disc platforms, right? Uh, the companies obviously started dying out because that was their main income source. So, knowing that the company was going to go bankrupt, all the hedge funds and the multi-billionaires shorted it so that they would make money. And this group called Wall Street Bets decided to go against them and to buy the shares, right? So that in essence, what's happening is you're fighting against the shorts. So that way, the billionaires and the hedge funds cannot make any income, and they started seeing profits. One of the records was like a guy invested around $53,000, and within 2 days, that turned into 47 million American
Jesus.
Wow.
dollars,
What?
right? That's money. That's money people can work the entire life and never see,
Yeah.
right? So obviously success sees a common man sees this, or common person sees this, and they also want to be part of the meme, right? Something called fear of missing out is also there, FOMO, right? So in essence, what happened is about 1 million users turned into about 8 million users within the last week and a half to 2 weeks, right? And GameStop went from around $17 per stock to a range of 350, like a balance of 350, and it has even peaked up to $500 at times. So yeah, that's basically what has really been happening for the past week to 2 weeks.
Wait, my question: why did they specifically target GameStop again?
Okay, so when you look into stocks, there's two different types of stocks. Right? There's multiple different types of stocks, but the main common thing that most people know are something called penny stocks, right?
Uh huh.
Uh, Penny stocks in essence is anything that's like small digits, right? That
Hmm.
like you wouldn't be hesitant to go and invest into a penny stock because you know that you don't care about the $2 you might lose or the $6 you might lose, right? Whereas a Tesla stock is not a penny stock because after the split, one of the stocks is worth around 850, $860, right? If you buy a full set of share, right, of Tesla stock, it will cost you 3,000 plus,
My
right?
word.
That's not money most common people have just lying around. That's most people's monthly or by like 2 months worth of salary in most cases, right? So, uh, so that's why mainly GameStop was targeted, and also like the shorting. This is GameStop was the only company in the history of Wall Street to be shorted this much, right, and to be bought out this much. So what happened is they had, I think it was 5 or 6 days ago, like last Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, GameStop hit the record for the highest amount of share volumes uh, in the history of Wall Street. So that was like a record-breaking thing too.
Okay, so what now? Like what? Okay,
What
so
now?
is the value of GameStop still like up there? Because
Okay, no.
if
See,
it
what
is, a
happens
lot of
is
my
when you
friends could make a lot of money because they still have a lot of games they need to trade.
Okay, so what happens now is, see, like the way stocks work is a company basically has to be doing well for the stock to be worth a certain amount, right? Tesla obviously is doing well. That's why even after a split, their stock is 800 something dollars, right?
Right.
Apple is doing well, right? These are all $1 trillion companies that are doing amazing for them, right? Amazon and so on, all those companies. Whereas when a company is not doing well, right? That's when the stock starts to fall, right? That in essence shows investors that the company is not going to succeed, right? That's what showed the hedge fund investors that the company was going to go bankrupt, right? And even GameStop came out to say that they were going to announce bankruptcy, right? Which would literally shut down the entire company. GameStop would no longer exist after mid 2021,
Mhm.
right? That was the plan. So what happened is all that shorting happened, right? So by people betting against it, they were technically just injecting millions of dollars into the company that was dying, right?
Mhm.
So obviously that rose the share price, right? But the minute everyone sells their shares, the company is gone.
Yeah.
Like this company has no hope. That's for sure. This company is not gonna last, right? It's the meme factor, right?
Uh-huh.
People are in it for the quick money. The people who invested 53,000 made 50 million, right? The people who invested $17 made $350, right? Or $400 whenever they decided to sell it. The longer you hold, right, the more money you get. But there's a time limit to the hold. Can't Holding it past like for the next 6 months is not going to get you any money because people will start cashing out, right? Will start selling. The hold period is till end of this week because the short options, right? Options are what it's called. So you can either long a stock or you can short a stock, right? These options are going to expire by Thursday, the last set of options. But that would require the hedge funds to pay back the banks, right? Because technically they're gambling with money that does not exist, right? You're saying that I believed a GameStop stock will go down to $4 in the next 3 months, right? So you pay a premium, and when it goes down to $3, the bank will pay you the difference, right? That's how you make money. But now what's happening is these billionaires set scales like that, but instead of going down to $0 or $4 or $2, it went back up to $400.
That's a lot
So
of
now
money
what's happening?
gone.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's billions of dollars that's going, right? Because hedge fund investors are not calling in $10 or $10 million or $50 million or $100 million bets. They're calling in billions. That's how hedge funds make their money, right?
Mhm.
So they, in essence, have to pay back. And you can't just be like, I'll pay you back like another time, right? There's a time period. And the longer they keep from not paying back, they have to pay interest on those billions, right? So, and now the SEC, right, which is the stock exchange, like the regulator for the Wall Street, right, is also investigating because you guys might have heard apps like Robinhood and a couple other apps, right, started regulating on their own, which legally they're not allowed to do because they are not the SEC, right? They're private companies that are just platforms for trading. And things started coming out which was not supposed to come out, right? That was like kept in secret, I guess. And companies even one hedge fund went bankrupt, right? You guys might have heard about Melvin
Oh yeah,
and
Melvin.
Citadel is now Citadel bought out Melvin because out of nowhere they just had millions coming in because what actually is happening is that Citadel kind of owns um, Robinhood because Robinhood is trying to get their IPO up, right? So they were a startup formed by like a couple youngsters, right? I think it was like 3 or 4 youngsters a few years ago, and it became the number one used platform for trading in America. It's an American app, right? And uh, obviously, when you're not billionaires or multi-millionaires, right, you need bigger companies to invest into you so that you can get your starting capital and all this and that. So you get tied down as you go down the way, right? That's what happened with Robinhood. And Robinhood came out to like they can't say we were forced by Citadel to do this, but reading among between the lines and like seeing the full picture, right? You know for a fact that all these companies that regulated the stocks, right, were forced to do that by these big hedge funds and big banks that are like funding these things.
Totally. Oh my god.
It's a lot. See, like I jumped over a lot
Mhm.
because like stocks and Wall Street bets, the regular Wall Streets, the hedge funds are conversations we can have for hours and hours, and there will be no end to it because things these people do is just mind-boggling, and sometimes you even wonder like what are you doing with your life? Because what basically is happening is that you paying tax, right? It's just funding and injecting money into these companies, right? And you might be making $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, $400,000, right? You're still not part of the 0.1% or the top 1% in the world, right? But you are funding the 1% in the world by paying taxes and all these different things. And at the end of the day, all these companies control the government because we live in a corporate world, especially America.
Yeah, like, my question would be, do you see this happening with crypto as well? So, like, I feel like if this could happen with stocks, right? Could this happen with like any type of cryptocurrency out there, like whether it be like the Doge or like Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? Anything. So,
I was
uh,
saying because like Shasha brought up a really good point. Everywhere, like on Reddit, everywhere you can see people saying hashtag Doge to the moon, Doge to the moon, and that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
obviously hinting towards like the Dogecoin, which is the cryptocurrency, right? So is it possible to replicate what happened to GameStop to cryptocurrency or to Dogecoin? Can Dogecoin tomorrow be worth at like Bitcoin level?
See, even before we go into crypto, the real question is, can we repeat the same thing with another stock, another penny stock that's going to die, right?
Exactly.
The answer is no. This is a once in a lifetime type of opportunity we had because multiple factors. One of the main factors being the company wise, right? There's no other company that has been shorted this much, right? That's what we're able to squeeze it. That's like the technical term, right? That's what's happening this week. The common people, us, are squeezing, right, the stock against the hedge funds, right? And that's how we're making money. We're literally milking money out at this point, right? This cannot be repeated again because there's no other company that's shorted this much. That's one thing. And the SEC will find ways to regulate it, right? So that regular people cannot just go and buy 1,000 or 10,000 shares or invest $10 million into another stock just to play around and manipulate it, right? Even though there's no legal laws set right now, there's no confirmation that tomorrow they won't just make up the law because billionaires again control the market. Now, in terms of crypto, from analyzing the market and seeing how it works, what I'm noticing is that crypto is heavily influenced by influencers, right? If tomorrow, if tomorrow Elon Musk comes out, right, and says Bitcoin to the moon, for a fact, Bitcoin is going up at least couple like $10,000, $20,000, right? He
For
does
sure,
that
for sure.
often. He did that with Dogecoin. Dogecoin went from below 0 cents, right? It was like 0.0004 cents or something at one point a couple of weeks ago, right? It shot up to about 10 cents. Do you understand the profit, right? You can put like if let's say you had to pay $25 for a pizza box, okay? If you put $25 into that, you're getting coupled like tens of thousands of Dogecoin below 0 cents, right? And that's shooting up to even 10 cents. You're making money that you would not make sitting at home and doing nothing, you know?
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
so like for again a common person or a student, like in our case, right? $10,000 or like even $1,000 makes a difference, right? Because you're not working at this point. So again, do I see a GameStop type of thing happening with Dogecoin? I don't think it's gonna hit $1 anytime soon, right? But I see that if the next tweet Elon's gonna make, it's gonna go up maybe 5 cents again, right? Another 5 cents. So I would say that it's like one of those another meme crypto, right? That you would jump on just to make the quick dollars and jump off when it's the right time.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that too. Yeah, once what like with the even with the GameStop thing, I'm pretty sure he tweeted out saying hashtag GameStonks, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
basically rocketed everything. David Dobrik did something.
yeah.
Barstool Sports president
Dave Portnoy, yeah.
Dave Portman hopped on the train hella quick too. Apparently, he put down a lot of money and he was on fire,
Yeah,
right?
2 million.
Yeah, so there was a lot of influence in this, and I believe that's what led like a lot of attention onto Wall Street Bets, and that's what technically they dug their own hole, like media, because the purpose of it was to take attention or let less people invest, but then by giving them attention, a lot of more people invested,
Which is
causing
a
it to
good
keep
thing,
going up
which is a
even
good
more.
thing for us, right? Because see, like there's multiple things to that also. Like when the richest man in the world tells you game stocks on his tweet, right? As a person with $70 or $17 like that you can spare, right, into a stock like GameStop, right? You're willing to take the risk. It's a gambling spirit, the adrenaline, right? When you start seeing the graph rise from $17 to 300, 400, $500, that's something else, bro, right?
Yeah, I
So
mean, only a man like Elon can do that. Like Elon
yeah,
posts memes on his Twitter, and he's the second richest man in the world.
yeah.
So much influence.
But what I'm seeing about him in comparison to the current richest man, Bezos, right, is that he does not care about the money he has, right? To him, money is not anything. His main intention is getting to Mars. He's driven for that, right? And
Who?
that's why
Elon or
Elon, Elon,
Jeff? Oh,
Elon,
Elon.
Elon,
Okay, okay.
because he has come out, he has even said to at many instances that he is willing to sell Tesla at some point in the future so that he can take the funds and invest it completely into his Mars mission. Like Bezos would never make a statement like that, and Bezos is also in the space industry, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So Elon is he's one of those special guys who somehow made it, right? And I'm glad he made it because he's doing good for the common people. So because most billionaires, their mindset and goal is to hoard the money and keep the money for themselves because the rich get richer, right? So him coming out and helping out like regular people, whether it be making
Right.
50 million, right,
Hmm.
overnight, or even making a couple $100 extra, right, from what you would normally make in that month, it means a lot for many people. So I'm glad he goes around and fools around, sends out Dogecoin tweets and like GameStonks tweets and stuff.
I aspire to be that foolish, but also that successful at one point in my life. That would
Also,
be so elite.
Also, going back to crypto, right? I believe like Shasher and Mebin, when I was talking with you a while ago, like you mentioned about like the concept of it, like we all know it's decentralized, right? And not
Hmm.
regulated, therefore not regulated by a said person or body of government, right?
Hmm.
So like a valid question you raised that has always made me think and that I'm starting to see other people raise too now, right? That are not in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is like at what point do we realize like the price is all a speculation, right? Who is making up the price, right? What is the scale? to run the price off on? And how, if it's a decentralized system, how can you exchange really between a centralized system currency and a decentralized system currency,
Yeah. No, no,
right?
I was reading more about it too. I'm reading as we speak, I'm reading about it. I was just reading about how Bitcoin works. Like how do you mine currency? Like I can't just dig up underground and like find like rupees or like Canadian dollars on the ground. Like I don't think that's how it works. Right? Well,
Yeah.
Bitcoin is like a whole blockchain algorithm related thing, shenanigans I'm still trying to figure out. But the biggest thing I read, if the world needs to transition to like Bitcoin or like cryptocurrency, the biggest thing cryptocurrency would need is stability, right? Currency needs to be stable for it to be implemented properly.
For a currency to be stable, it needs to be centralized. That's the thing,
Exactly. So
right?
we're kind of dealing with like a paradoxical eeny
Yeah.
meeny miny mode
Because
situation here. So
another thing is also there's just see like Bitcoin was actually invented by like 4 or 5 guys, right? But no one in the world
allegedly,
knows.
allegedly.
Allegedly, yes, you're right. That's right. But no one knows. Okay, allegedly, no one knows who those 4 or 5 people are, right? Whether they be the actual the creators of Bitcoin or not, right? There's also news out there that there is a set amount of bitcoins, right? So that
Mm,
means if the world is to transition, right? And we're limited because I think it's only like a few millions that are there, bitcoins, right, in the world. If the world is to transition, who's gonna invent more? Like, who's gonna push in more bitcoins? Because the minute one person pushes in Bitcoin into the economy, right, the Bitcoin economy, it becomes centralized. That person now is in control, right? So the
yeah.
transition into something like that is what like that what it's what's even stopping me from looking into investing. That's
Uh-huh.
basically what's like realistically stopping me from even like investing because tomorrow the government of America or Canada can come out and say if you own Bitcoin, right, you have to pay
Mhm.
99% tax or you will be changed into a tax bracket or you'll be arrested for using illegal money,
Can
right?
they do that?
Government can do anything because it's not American money or Canadian money, right? It's
Mhm.
controlled. It's not even controlled by anyone in the world, so they could do that. So then all these people with like millions in Bitcoin uh, can't just overnight sell it because no one's gonna buy it, right? And the market just dies down then. So
Yeah.
it's another gamble that they're part of, right? It's
Yeah.
one of
I
those.
was reading because like Elon Musk, I don't know if he tweeted or like it was in an interview where he mentioned that if there was an economy established in like a different planet, their main source of currency would be crypto, right? And that obviously, again, we're still making ways or working on our way to get to Mars. So, like, colonizing Mars is like a long, long way ahead of us, right? So, it's not a thing we should be looking forward to now. So, you're right. I don't think the
What?
government can like
No,
can
no.
they?
What government can what?
Like control they can, actually they
Yeah,
can.
yeah, they can. If they want to, the government can do anything, bro. We have seen how the government has played their roles over the past 100, 200 years, right? Alone, like from like the history books that we have read in school, high school. So
Oh yeah.
the government can really realistically do anything. What I was gonna say was this. Like like how you mentioned Elon and Mars and like a one source currency, right? Like a one currency thing concept of like
Mhm.
Bitcoins possibly being the currency. See, I feel like Elon has talked about Bitcoin for that reason because of it just being that one currency, right? So if everyone's colonizing Mars, right? Instead of having 50 or 200 or 1,000 different currencies, right? Just having one currency that is like tradable or exchangeable between every individual on that planet, right? It just makes it a smoother system than things like inflation, currency exchange rates, and things like that does not come into play, right? So I get that, but changing Earth possibly in the over the next 200 or even 500 years, right, into a place where all we use is Bitcoin and that too in a
Nope.
decentralized system, it will never. I don't know. I'm willing to fight anyone over that.
I don't
I
think
don't think
so.
it will happen. No, no, no,
No.
it won't happen. It's It's another one of those things
Who
where, as a
does that
normal individual, if you want to make some money and you got $40,000 lying around to invest into one Bitcoin, you invest. Next tweet Elon does, it's gonna skyrocket a couple of thousands, and then you just go sell and make that couple of thousand profit.
Yeah, like okay, talking about Elon,
Oh
we
yeah,
can transition into our next topic, right? So Tesla, right? Even with their stock, even with their thing, they brought out a new refresh, a highly anticipated refresh into their Model X and Model S. Because those cars are around getting like 7, 8 years old, right? Like 2014 was like the first Model S, 2015, 2016 was the first Model X. So uh, they decided to bring some interesting changes into their features. I would say like their whole interior design. Exterior design is pretty much the same, except for they've ditched the chrome and now they're going with like the matte black kind of look. So door handles, exterior, like the camera guards and stuff, they're all matte black. With that, like the interior design is completely different. So they decided to go with a horizontal screen like the Model 3 and the Model Y, which I think works, right? And they also added like a wireless charger now, a lot of new things. The screen has more capability, but a couple of big things are the steering wheel. So it's like F1 racer, yoke, every like there's a lot of names out there about the steering wheel, right? That's a big thing. Like transitioning into a steering wheel of that sense would be really hard for a lot of people, and I'm interested to see how it will look and whether it would actually happen. Like these are just rendered images. Like there's a chance that they might not go with that steering wheel, but there's a high chance they will, right? Because there's a lot of like North American laws, British laws, like even in like other countries, European laws, which could prevent from this happening. But there's a really high chance they will go with the steering wheel. And with that, like also they have like the new infotainment system. Like they have like they're saying that it can play games like Cyberpunk and like a lot of AAA games, which is really
I don't
interesting.
know about that.
Yeah, it's really interesting because if you know about Teslas, if you have a Tesla, right, it does have games. Like the games are like not that high graphic games, like a Mario Kart type of game, right? So it can play games. Like I'm not saying it can't, but Elon tweeted out saying that it can play Cyberpunk, which is like a AAA game, right? Which you can play on your consoles, a really high end PC. So let's see how they offer that. Like they say it has up to 10 teraflops of processing power. So and it also has wireless controller capability with from any seat. So I just want to see how that works. Like I just want your guys' opinion. Like would this sway people to buy a Tesla?
that steering
Having
wheel.
yeah, yeah.
First of all, um, new generation consoles, for example, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X's, weren't even able to handle Cyberpunk. They had to recall the game. So I want to see how a car is going to handle.
Hey, Elon never lies,
Elon
man. That's
never,
the thing.
yeah, Elon, yeah, okay. Listen, yes, we were like praising him the last one, but like this one, I was watching the MKBHD video too. I don't. It's too good to be true, man. It just sounds way too sweet. Like obviously you won't be able to play games when you're driving, but like imagine being like the passenger and you're driving. Isn't that kind of distracting?
You're not the functionality is turned off.
No. So yeah, games are usually when you charge the thing
Yeah,
Okay.
and when you're
full
at
rest
full
part
rest.
of they also have like a screen at the back now, but I'm pretty sure that will be allowed to play games. So your passengers at the back would be allowed to play games, right? But we have to see how.
Yeah, and I saw that. I just saw that. So I was just looking. I'm not sure about the
Mhm.
what this is, but like what I saw is it could possibly come with an AMD Navi 23 GPU. Is that something big?
That,
NVMe?
that's the
Yeah,
thing, yeah, I guess.
that's a thing.
I mean,
VME GPU?
Yeah, GPU is what it
Yeah,
says.
so that's basically
Navi 23 GPU.
Navi or
That's I think that's what
NVMe.
Chashu. I know NAVI.
Oh,
that might be a new thing, yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking at that. That's the one it said. That's the thing Chashu was talking about, like the
Yeah,
9.75
that's
teraflops.
the That's the competitor for the NVIDIA RTXs, the 30 series.
Yeah, so it says here that it should be able to outperform a Radeon RX 5700 XT.
Yeah. It definitely can. It definitely
I
can.
mean,
Never
yeah,
mind.
like they do have like in a car, you do have a lot of space to work with. So like, especially in an electric car, because the batteries sit like right at the bottom, right? You do have a lot of like center console space, and like with Tesla not having like buttons and stuff, everything being on the screen, they have more space to work with, right? Like no, another thing like no gear stocks and stuff, right? That saves up a lot of space, right? Uh, so there
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of space to work with. So I can see them going like adding like components like these into a car, right? If they have extra space to work with, right? So I guess it's a thing. Like, yeah,
I just I just don't know how ready the world is for a steering wheel
yeah,
like
No,
that.
okay, I have a question. I am okay, just for audience knowledge. I don't have never like had an experience with Teslas, but these two, Philip and Shashwat, have. So my question is, why would you want to have a gaming system in a car that's run on electricity? Because can you not just divert that to range instead of having like a console?
So like basically, like when I've seen, right, people use, or like when I have used it, is like when you go to charge, right?
Oh,
Especially if you're supercharging, like if you're at a station and
right,
stuff, right?
right.
It takes
yeah,
some time, right?
so,
So either you can, obviously they give you the functionality of opening YouTube, Netflix, whatever you want to open, right, on the screen and watch something, or you can, if you're into gaming or you just want to play around some like mini games and stuff, you also have the functionality for that. Tesla's like one of those. They're like super. They take a lot of what's it called? What's the right word? They take a lot of interest in making sure that the customer is satisfied in all sense, right? So they never leave out even like the moment of charging, right? They don't leave the excitement or like like so making it interesting even for the charging moments. So I feel like that's why they're focusing on that. And then Elon is also one of those guys who just goes extra above and beyond. Like I was looking at the specs or like the speed specifications, right? 0 to 100 kilometers in less than
mhm.
2 seconds. Like, which common person is doing that on a regular basis? Like 0 to 100. Are we just gonna like start at it? What like we're gonna start seeing everyone just like stop on the ramp of the highways and just accelerate one
That's
by
like
one.
Philip every Friday night on the 410.
Okay, chill.
But I mean, it's it is labeled the fastest production car, the Play Plus model, like the fastest production car so far. But then the Roadster is supposed to come out, which is supposed to be faster. So
And with more range, right?
yeah, more range, faster. It's
It's
crazy. Yeah,
crazy.
the same steering wheel though.
See, this now comes the question. Now comes the question that I've been asked with phones. Where do we draw the line? Because we're not talking about a Bugatti anymore. We're not talking about a supercar, right? We're talking about a regular car. One of us can go tomorrow and
Yeah,
buy,
like it's a
right?
available
So
car.
where's the line drawn? So where's the line?
Wait, what line? What line would we draw here? Like when I was talking about size wise, right? Because like there's different applications. There's like phone, there's tablets, there's laptops, and there's like full on full blown PCs. I was talking about drawing the line between a phone and a tablet. What line are you talking
Line in
here?
the sense of like how crazy we go, how far we go with the speeds and because like essentially in a car, we're not looking at if it can play Cyberpunk or not. We're looking at how fast it can go, right? And just giving now it's coming to a point where we're giving every common person the ability to drive at 200 kilometers an hour in a normal car. Before you had to buy a Lamborghini or 8 cylinder or 9 cylinder or 12 cylinder car, right? That would give you the ability or the option, right, to drive at those speeds regularly. But also with those options came the big price tags of hundreds of thousands to
Yep.
millions of dollars. Now how much is this?
It has
150,
a
200K?
play. So Blade.
What's the
So you're
base
looking at
model
the Play
cost?
Plus if you want to like the fastest production card. So the Play Plus is 189K without options. So if you spec it out, like it will probably come
Okay.
down to like 200 something thousand dollars, right? Which
Okay. So we're looking at like a monthly lease of like
yeah,
around
to
$2,000 per month. You can
mm,
own a car that will go faster than that will go essentially faster than a Bugatti in like a quarter mile or whatever, because Bugattis take time to
Yeah,
speed up, right? So 2.1 seconds, it's literally two blinks. Like that's how fast you can accelerate, right?
How slow do you blink, my guy?
How fast do you blink?
How long did you take? You take a full second to blink?
Oh no, I said two blinks, all right? Two blinks. 1 second per blink.
Oh, you take 1 second to blink. You know what? Do your
Hey,
dog.
hey, hey. All right. I'm just using analogies, all right? Leave me alone. No, but what I'm gonna say is like even sitting in a Model 3 and being able to go launch to 100, right, in like 4 seconds or 5 seconds,
yeah,
6 seconds, right? Like that rush is something else. And now I'm thinking, me being able to do that in 2 seconds in a S Plate model, right? But S Plate Plus, right? Like the things you can do are just endless at this point.
yeah.
Everyone's gonna be on 407 watch.
Everyone that can
Oh,
afford
obviously,
a
yeah.
Model.
Most of Brampton,
Most of
yeah,
Brampton,
yeah.
like folks that say like
Brampton is switching over to electric cars. I'm seeing that because
Actually,
like when we bought
yeah,
the Infinity, like we used to see that face, right, of everyone looking into like the Infinity and the Range Rovers, right? And now I'm seeing less and less Range Rovers and less fuel based, like luxury cars. And I'm seeing more of Model Ys, more of Model X's, and a lot more Model
yeah,
S as well. So people I least expected to even like look into purchasing one has purchased it, because that's also there's also a hype factor with Teslas, right? Because everyone wants to be part of the new technology, the new revolution of electric cars, right? And also most people are willing to take that six, seven, $10,000 saving
yeah.
on fuel that they would spend on a yearly
Like it
basis.
comes down to like cost as well, right? Like in the sense that if you're spending on like a normal sedan, like you you have the money, right? You go for like a high-end sedan, like say like a Mercedes C300, right? It will come down to like a $60,000
Mm-hmm.
mark, like if you spec it out, right? But you can get a
Yeah.
Tesla, right? With
Mm-hmm.
like not same functionality in a sense, but like the high factor, like it being electric, and you save that like the $5,000 initially, then you save like $10,000 over like your period of you owning it, right? It comes out to like a sub 40,
Yeah.
sub 35, right? That $1,000 mark, right? Which is really affordable if you look at like other cars, right? Like a sedan or maybe a Model Y
And
or something.
And not just that, your Mercedes C63 won't give you constant
Yep.
updates, right? It won't come to you in a parking lot when you press a button on your phone, right? It
how
won't come.
reliable is that though? How reliable is like the summon?
Oh, it works. It works. It works properly now.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of like videos of it working properly, right? Obviously, as time goes, they improve the technology, and I believe they're reaching those stages of it becoming almost perfect, right? And your C63 won't drive for you
Yeah.
fully automatic, right? Properly, right? Won't divert out of lanes for you. And also, Tesla is known for their like they're ranked one of the
Safety,
highest in
five-star.
terms of protection, like
Mhm.
safety, their
Yeah,
airbags
there's
and all that
a
stuff.
lot of
Yeah.
positive things that come with like
So
a Tesla. Like when you look at the initial price tag, you probably be like, "Oh, it's really expensive." But when you actually look into it, yeah, when you actually look into it, it has a lot more factors than you can actually think about, right?
it's an
Uh,
investment, really. It's really
yeah,
an
like
investment over time.
with that, like also like the new thing, like one thing we kind of missed, right? Uh, is the gear stocks, right?
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Where they at? No.
yeah, so somebody noticed this, like I didn't notice it initially, right? Somebody on Twitter tweeted at Elon's uh it doesn't have gear stats. How do you know if I'm in drive, reverse, park, right? And then Elon tweeted back,
Well, your screen tells you that.
yeah, no, no, your screen tells you that, right? But you put it into reverse, forward, right? S doesn't have that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, so how do
Yeah,
you do it?
Elon tweeted
Yeah,
back
how do you? I
saying,
just noticed that.
right,
Yeah.
your car knows where you're gonna go based on the thing you're like the direction or like what you have put in the navigation system, so it can do things for you, right? But you have the capability of
Oh my
overriding it through
God.
the screen, right? But my question is now, if I'm not going straight, for example, right? Like in a sense that if I don't have something in the navigation system, right, of me turning left on like the next exit or like the next street, right? How does it know I'm turning left, or how does it know I need to go?
what if you're not? Yeah, what because like not everyone. I don't use a navigation system,
Yeah.
right? I'm not gonna start relying on one just to use my car. And second of all, there has been instances in videos on YouTube where the screen just turns off. Then what
Yeah.
happens? How do you manually override it?
Oh, I was watching the MKBHD video. He did a more detailed analysis of it. So if you look on the steering wheel, right? Like he showed a more detailed picture of the steering wheel. There's like touch buttons on the
Yeah, that's
steering
usually
wheel
used for
with
No,
audio.
like indicators.
Yeah.
yeah.
No. Touch buttons with like indicators,
I
like
mean, it
left
has
signal,
that,
right
right?
signal
I
on
mean, it
that.
has that. But we're the drive, yeah, like
Yeah.
the indicators and stuff. Those are like negligible in the sense that you can probably put them on the screen. You can probably put them where they have put them right now. That works really good. But what about the gear stuff, right? Where is
Oh, you're
that?
talking about reverse. Just say, okay, Tesla reverse.
See, that that that's that's the thing with the modern cars, right? When you're completely indulging into a fully technological car, right? Taking out every possible button, right, and making everything into a screen-based, right, interaction. I think that comes with the modern technology, and again, Tesla has always done their best to stay at least 10, 20 years ahead of every other car brand, right?
Yeah,
So I guess that is our future. What we're heading towards, these kind of steering wheels that I used to see back in the days on like PS4
How?
accessories and like
No, but like, like? What if the car doesn't have reverse? You just have to take a
no.
U-turn
See,
every
like I'm
time you do
guessing if you're like in
reverse.
a parking spot, right, and you get into the car will automatically put it into reverse for you so
no,
you
but
can take it because you technically cannot
no.
go
But
forward.
Philip, my question is now, right? What if you have like a two parking spot thing, right? And then if there's no car in front of you, you would probably choose the forward direction, right? In a sense, like you'll probably like, oh, I want to go forward, make it easier for
Yeah,
myself, rather than reversing and then going around, right?
maybe we yeah
What happens in that case? I
maybe
have to go reverse.
maybe maybe we all need to get Neuralinks attached.
Neuralinks. Hey, yo, what if that's a flex? If Elon's like, if you're buying the car, you get like a one for you Neuralink that connects to your car.
Yeah, like a
To the main driver.
Maybe that's how you play this. That's how you play Cyberpunk because you're using your brain power.
You're just staring at the screen intensively and
It's
just like playing.
yeah.
yeah,
That could be a flex. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a thing soon. Once he tweaks up Neuralink, I'm pretty sure he's going to somehow, because he said using 5G, he's going to
oh
connect the
yeah, that's already
cars to other Teslas on the road, right? And like once Neuralink becomes a thing, I'm pretty sure he's going to say, we're going to connect 5G to Neuralink and you can talk to others through like the
yeah.
mind. Like for sure, for sure.
It's heading in a
Possibilities are
direction.
endless when you're Elon Musk.
Yeah, very like it's heading in a direction which is like kind of unknown and fascinating, right? Like looking from the outside, because uh, like owning like a Play Plus, like I don't see myself owning one in the near future, like anytime soon, right? So looking from the outside is really interesting, but like imagine being in the position of you looking forward to it, and then they do these things like having no gear stock, right? Having no whatever, right? Like the steering wheel design and stuff, right? How would it change their perspective towards
Hmm.
getting a Model S? Like I know in KBHD video he mentioned that he wasn't gonna get one just because this factor, right? Of them changing it around. He wants to wait a year or two and
Yep. To see how it actually works
see,
out.
yeah, see how it actually works out. So there'll be a lot of people in that position, but there are a lot of people in the position where they want to get this car as fast as possible. Like I've seen a lot of car YouTubers ordering one already, right? Like
Hmm.
like this car is not expected to come out uh like the Play Plus model to like March or April, right?
Right.
But still ordering one really fast, like it's a risk, but it's a risk people are willing to take, right?
Yeah,
So
I definitely can't say anything. I'm hella broke, so I don't think I'll ever be owning a Tesla anytime soon. So for sure, I am definitely going to have to wait for more reviews and see what's happening.
fascinating. So
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. It's also kind of scary because you don't know. It's like we're stepping into the unknown. Like it's how that innovation works, right?
yeah.
I think that's it for today, right?
Yeah, I think that's all the topics we need to cover.
All right, so that's great. So I think we can conclude with that. So if you would like to listen to more of our stuff, check us out on Stark Enterprises on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcast. If you have any questions you're dying to ask or have a guest idea that you want to see featured on the podcast, shoot us a DM at underscore Stark Enterprises. Want to get to know us and our projects a bit better? Check us out and our website in the link on our Instagram bio. With that, I am Mebin Matthew. With me was Shasha Chauhan and Philip Thomas, and this has been Stark Talks.